those were the days.
Hello there, Dr. Sheep here. Welcome back to another Farming Sim Let's Play, episode 40-something. I'm your host, Dr. Sheep. Okay. So where do I want to begin? Oh my god, I have watched... Okay. So... okay, first things first. I discussed on this week's podcast with Phil about ending the Farming Sim Let's Plays. I know. I've talked about it before, but I think my rationality this time makes the most sense. I just don't want to be burned out when the time comes for Farming Sim 21. That's my rationale there. That's just what it is. Sorry, I'm just checking up on this helper C. I've been running this for like the past I don't know, half hour or so. Anyways, the point is, this is actually, we've done a whole harvest since we last did this. I had to sell a load of soybeans so we could actually continue to function as a farm. You need a constant, somewhat large source of capital so that you can pay workers and pay for other things, fuel and that. Anyways, so I don't know. Let me know what you think I should do. I don't know. That many people don't even watch this anyways, so no one's gonna respond. I've also been asking for the longest time, flatbed mods, please. I get no response every time. Anyways, so let's video I saw. So I watched Poncho. I don't know if Poncho's a newer commentary YouTuber on the scene from Kansas. Funny enough, I've talked to him before. Anyways, he was doing a video on the vegan teacher, on why you should become vegan. She made a video on why you should become vegan. Poncho was making a video about it, and I kept thinking, like, yeah, it's clout and it's a cheap way to get views, but it's clout. And if anybody has the audacity to take on PETA, the vegan teacher, other animal rights activists, it's me. Somebody who lived on a farm, grew up on a farm, and is an ag econ major, so I know about agriculture. And it may soon be based off my livelihood, agriculture. Grow crop mostly, but I mean, those crops are usually corn anyways, usually grown for to feed cattle and then to make ethanol, and then it's fed to people. Actually, it's exported then fed to people. But point is, so why did it not? Oh, it's V, not B. I always hit B instead of V. Anyways, so... Right, what was I? Right, so I figured I would take some of her points, and let's talk about them. Also, we can use it to get some clout. Clout's good, right? I mean, depending on the clout. Good publicity, all kinds of publicity is good publicity, alright? Publicity is publicity. Gets your name out there, and people who will like you will find your channel, and that's how that works. Okay, so one of the claims that irritates me the most, and I have the most experience in, is that wool hurts sheep. Shearing sheep hurts them. Okay, wearing wool hurts them. It does not. If any, it's a necessity. Yes, we've bred sheep to produce wool, alright? That's just... Yeah, there's freaking hair sheep that don't need to be sheared ever. But we've created these monsters, just like dairy cattle. We've created these monsters that produce more milk than they need. We've bred chickens to produce more eggs than is natural. Actually, I don't know if we've ever actually tried to increase the rate at which a chicken produces more eggs because, well, we can just increase the number of chickens easily, more easily than we can probably just breeding them. But I digress. So we've bred these creatures to produce more wool. We've bred these sheep to produce large amounts of wool, which means we need to take care of them. And shearing is a fantastic process because shearing. So when my dad does it, it seems kind of mean. We do it at the before the cold week in January, but they're usually pretty. They're kind of fatter at that point in the year, anyways, because they're pretty pregnant, but they're not extremely pregnant yet, to the point where real shearing them would hurt them. Well, it hurt not the ewe, but it hurt the lambs. Anyways, so my dad's philosophy there is for why we shear them then is it helps the lambs because now the lamb doesn't have to dig its head through 2 inches of wool to find the udder, and 2, if you did in the summer, that is animal abuse because flies would just eat the sheep alive. Cattle, let's take cattle for example, and pigs, they don't get eaten alive by flies typically because, well, pigs roll around in mud and cows have a tail. The purpose of a cow's tail or cattle's tail is to swat flies away, if I'm not mistaken. Horses, I think it's just swat flies and for balance while they're running. Anyways, well, a sheep doesn't need a sheep doesn't have well, a sheep do have tails, but they don't have any control over their tails, unfortunately. And so we just cut them off because if we left them on, again, flies would feast on the tails, causing them to have maggots and then, well, harming the sheep. This doesn't always happen, but it can happen. And so, yes, docking tails is another example of, yes, it does hurt the sheep in that moment, kind of like giving a shot, but it's beneficial in the long run. Just like giving antibiotics or penicillin. Well, I guess that is antibiotic. Vaccines or antibiotics. Yes, it may hurt the sheep now with a little pinch. Tail's a little more than a pinch, but it benefits them in the long run. Shearing them is not a painful process. A sheep actually might enjoy it. Well, to an extent, depending on how crazy she is, the ewe is. Just because you're carrying around a few pounds of, I shouldn't say a few pounds, but they're probably carrying around a pound of wool and other stuff on them, and it gets caught on things, and it's quite warm, really, especially in the summer. So getting it removed probably feels kind of nice. Can you imagine if you had that kind of hair on you? You would not be enjoying that. So removing it doesn't harm them at all. Yes, they might get clipped, but who doesn't get? But I mean, as a kid and you were fighting your barber, you probably got clipped too. So can you imagine a sheep who doesn't really know what's going on? Some do, some don't. And you're struggling and fighting, you're gonna get clipped. But all in all, it doesn't hurt them. Shearing is vegans saying that shearing hurts sheep. No, that's false. It's a necessity. Okay? Yes, sheep can survive without being sheared, but it's much more beneficial for them to be sheared, at least in the winter anyway. Shearing them in the summer is a bad idea, because again, they get eaten alive by flies. So there's a happy medium in there of how much wool is too much wool. Anyways, so that part of veganism, just that one topic in veganism irritates me. But if we go to veganism helps save the planet, Yeah, it does. I mean, cattle aren't exactly. Yes, cattle are producing lots of methane. I'm not going to argue that's not true. It is true. It's been done rigorous amounts of testing. It is true. However, going vegan or specifically organic won't work because the land. So here's the problem, right? Here in Nebraska, the area is not really good for anything other than corn, grass, soybeans, wheat, and a few other things, right? Well, we don't need a lot of that if there's no livestock, for one thing, okay? Once you get rid of livestock, we don't need those anymore. We don't need grass and the corn, a lot of the corn, and the soybeans. We don't need that for pigs. But this land, we can't grow a lot of vegetables here. You could probably try, but it's just not going to be as profitable as say if you did in California. So this land is going to become useless. You can't do anything with it other than grow grass, but grass is used to feed livestock because humans can't eat grass. And that's where my problems with veganism and the idea of getting rid of animals. Cattle and sheep and other crazy animals, they use land that is unusable to us for other foods. Because a cow can convert grass into milk or meat for us to eat. A sheep can convert it into wool and milk and other things we can eat. Funny thing about sheep, it produces 3 products. No other animal produces 3 products. Fun fact. 2 of which can be harvested while they're still alive. You could also get leather from a sheep, just like you can get leather from a cow. Okay. But if you but that they have to be dead for that. Anyways, so getting rid of them, you're gonna limit your land that you can use because you don't need metric tons of corn anymore. You don't need that because what are you gonna do with that? Make everybody eat corn chips? No, there's no nutritional value in that for people. For a cow, though, a lot of nutritional value in there. Or what are you gonna do with all the grazing land? Now useless. People aren't eating hay. That's not a thing. You can't eat hay. So now what? What's the next step then? So and so like there's a graph or there's statistics that show how many hectares currently are used to produce the amount of food that we eat. Okay? And there's a number for how many hectares are necessary to feed the world properly. Okay. And how many? Okay, sorry. How many? There's statistics showing how many hectares we use right now, and that's what's necessary to feed the world. If we got rid of livestock, it shows how many hectares we would need, or if we stopped using GMOs and that kind of stuff, or got rid of, or we just went to organic. Either one demonstrates that we need a lot more land. Land that doesn't exist. I mean, it does exist, some of it anyways, but there goes the rainforest. Completely. You also are going to run into problems of, well, it's just not... You're going to get rid of the rainforest, for one thing. And among other things is that there's just a lot of land that we use now that will become useless. I guess you could build houses there, but the sandhills aren't exactly the best place to build a house, right? They're not. So, but they're good for one thing, and that's the thing they do well at, and that's produce cows. That's what they do. They make grass that feeds the cows, that makes steers that we eat, and that's what they're good at, and that's about all you can do with them. Get rid of that, there's not much left. So that's what I'm saying. Eating less animals is a smart idea. Yeah, I'll agree with that. Completely stopping, bad idea. Completely. It's not... You'll save the planet, but you'll kill a lot of people in the process. Anyways, but you're going to kill a lot of people in the process because, well, carrying capacity will have been met. So, anyways, okay, let's look at animal statistics. Wait. Sheep are doing pretty good. They're only at 97% productivity, but that's because they're not very clean. You can always clean them later, but they'll be fine. Horses, we're at 99%. Why is that? Is that because hay isn't at green? I can change that. But I still do have super strength turned on. So anyways, veganism is not all it's cracked up to be. And that people should be careful. Are the horses ready to be sold, or why is this not? Why are they only at 99%? That's strange. I wonder if that's just probably like the horse helper mod thing. They couldn't be at 100%, so it's like a... Cause they should be at 50,000 each. My sheep numbers keep increasing. Have to sell sheep at some point. Oh, I guess this is good. We can sell the horses. Probably in the next episode we'll sell them. Because I wanted the vegan teacher to be the ass script. We're gonna sell the horses. That'll be the big money bucket thing today. Okay, we gotta turn this to real time when we do this. Just make things easier, so we can buy back all the horses then that we didn't end up using. And with dialogue. What? They only gave me $700,000? I thought it was supposed to give me like $1 million. What is that crap? Well, they're all just gonna be these gray ones. I don't really care. Okay, cool. Confirm. So that wasn't nearly as profitable as I thought it was going to be. Did they nerf horses? That's irritating. Should I have waited another day? I don't see 16 horses in here. Hold on. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, yeah, 16. What? How did that... But that... They nerfed horse... Unless horses bring less money on this map than they do on other maps. That'd be about the only way. Because they brought a lot more for Moose LP. Huh. That's annoying. This will be the thumbnail. We sold the horses. We made lots of money. Not as much as I had hoped, but we made some more money. Fantastic. As we're like rounding down the end of the series, funny enough. So, okay. Anyways, back to veganism and the vegan teacher. Let's accelerate time here, shall we? I want to take on veganism. I want to take on the veganism and specifically PETA and veganism and the vegan teacher. So, and killing animals is wrong. Let's think about that. Okay, so this is a tough subject, and no matter what you look at it, you do look kind of mean when you say it's just killing an animal outright is like, it's whatever. It is a problem. It's just an animal doesn't have feelings, right? It feels pain, yeah. That's why we've developed ways so that they don't feel pain when they die. Okay? An animal, but if an animal doesn't feel sadness, it doesn't. It can't, or maybe if it does, it can't comprehend it. It doesn't have a prefrontal cortex large enough to do that. Humans are the only thing that has a prefrontal cortex large enough for there to be feelings and that kind of stuff. That's just a part of humanity. That's just something that they don't have. My brain's melting there. Point is, it's... Oh, my wool filled up again. I need that flatbed trailer, guys. Anyways. Sheep are very profitable. Especially when you start filling up frickin' wool sacks. Like I said, once we start accelerating time again, things would get a lot better. You can make a lot more money a lot quicker. Well, anyways, PETA, come at me. I'll fight you. Because you're insane. Yes, animals feel pain, but they don't feel emotions. They don't have. There's not happiness. There's not sadness. Or if there is, they can't comprehend that. Right? It's not. They're not. The prefrontal cortexes aren't developed enough. The only thing close to humans is an ape, and they have the brain development of a 2-year-old. I can tell you this right now: a 2-year-old doesn't really have. 2-year-old doesn't understand its feelings, or even if it even has feelings. It just knows it's hungry, it's cold. It just knows when it's hungry, cold, or whatever. Point is, it just knows how to maintain homeostasis. It just wants to maintain homeostasis. So animals feel pain. Animals don't have feelings. That's just a. You want them. People want them to have feelings. People project themselves onto their pets, onto their animals. They project human characteristics and traits onto animals because they want them to believe. They want to believe that they are one and the same, but they're not. Your dog can't do calculus. Okay, I take that back. You probably can't do calculus, but you can do algebra. Your dog can't do algebra. I'd say almost everybody can do algebra. It's not that hard, alright? Basic algebra, solving for x, alright? It's not that difficult. If I had 1 minus x equals 2, you could solve it real easily. Actually, that might trip people up. Point is, 1 minus x equals 2. Most people could solve that. You subtract 1 across, which gets you 1, get a negative. What? Is that? Hold on, I gotta double check my math here. 1 minus negative 1 does get you 2. Oh, yeah. Derp. Okay, whatever. Point is, the point is, just about anybody can do algebra. It's not that difficult. But your dog can't. Your dog can't get a job. Your dog can't talk to you. It doesn't understand language. It understands commands because it knows if it does said thing when you say when it hears said sound, it gets a treat. It gets a reward. That's conditioning. Okay? It's basic functionality of a higher level animal. Okay? A person, though, right, can choose to not do that. Right? I mean, you can condition people, trust me, it's been done. Well, actually, we're all conditioned, funny enough. But the point is that there isn't... You project human characteristics onto animals, hoping that... And that's what happens. That's why PETA and them they're so dangerous. They're projecting human traits onto animals. That's dangerous. You can't do that. They're not human beings. They're not complex. They're not. The closest thing to a human being is a dolphin and an ape. In intelligence, anyways. And neither one of them are anywhere close. And maybe an elephant, because elephants have family structure. Other than that, most animals on the face of this planet are no different than your dog or cat. Okay? Or no different than the ants in the dirt. Well, I mean, that's either, but it's different. Point is, they're just a bag of chemical reactions responding to stimulus. That's all they are. Right? And if you can't accept that, you want there to be more. That's the problem. You want them to be more. You can't accept the fact that they're a chemical reaction, because if they're a bag of chemicals, then what are you? Then you begin to judge what you are. What makes humans are one the same then. A bag of chemical reactions reacting to a stimulus. But the difference between us and a dog is a dog doesn't think about, why am I a bag of chemical reactions? No. It doesn't. You can and you do. So it's up to you what you do with that power. Is it our given right to harness nature in the way that we've done it? I don't know. Probably not. Maybe not. Who knows? I mean, technically in the Bible, yes. But it is what it is. You're a bag of chemicals. Do what you must with that information. Bag of chemical reactions. That's why religion is such a important thing. People have to believe that they have a soul, that there's something else. They're not just that. That there is something else after death. When in actuality, if there is no God, then there is nothing after death. This is it. What happens here is all that matters. You don't get to look down upon the world after you die. Your last moments will be your brain slowly being deprived of oxygen depending on how you die anyways. And then that's it. Darkness. PETA, the vegan teacher, come at me. Because whether you like it or not, we need to continue to eat animals. We should treat them better, I'll agree. Trapping a chicken in a cage all day is probably not the best thing. And maybe dairy cattle can probably be treated a bit better. But shearing a sheep is a good thing. Now, breeding sheep directly just for wool, that's probably a bad thing. But that's just playing God, which is what you think you've been given the ability to do. Play God. Because you're projecting humanity onto animals. There's two different things. Their bags of chemicals. Your bags of chemicals. Difference there is you can think about that. They can't. And if you want to go a step further, you have a soul. Anyways, I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. New Fire Sim Let's Plays every single Wednesday, 11 a.m. Central Time, and good night. What an episode, ladies and gentlemen. If you enjoyed what you watched and you want to see what the series started, go check out the playlist. If you want to see more, and so you don't miss a single second, make sure you subscribe. Anyways, stick around for the next 20 seconds to give me that sweet watch time, and I'll see you guys in the next one.